Hello, everyone. My name is Simone Feast, and I'm a sophomore at Queen's University of Charlotte. And today I will be interviewing Veronica Styron. Veronica is a project estimator at Atlas Floors. Atlas Floors is a member of the NWFA. NWFA stands for National Wood Flooring Association, and it is a nonprofit trade association representing all segments of the hardwood flooring industry, including manufacturers, distributors, retailers, installers, importers/exporters, inspectors, and consultants. Hello, Veronica. How are you today?
Hi, Simone. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good, thank you. Could you describe what your typical workday entails and what was your first few years in this career like?
Sure. So a typical workday usually starts out early in the morning because usually service calls start around 8. We have to be starting to prepare around 6. So typically we get into the office warehouse around 6. That way we can get our vans ready for tools and supplies. And the early morning thing used to scare me, especially because I was like, oh, I'm not a morning person. This is not for me.
Right.
Realize that you get off at 3, you're like, it's not
Yes.
is a beautiful thing. So you get to enjoy more of the daytime than, a lot of other industries will allow you. So it works out pretty well with that kind of balance. Typically, once we get our trucks out on the road and we get our crews to projects, you'll see me floating around from project to project, as well as meeting with new customers, designers, architects to look at new projects and kind of measure those and get a feel for what they're looking for. Typically in between that and driving stops, I'll get phone calls from crews saying, these are the stain colors we picked, they picked, can you get these supplies here for us? So a lot of my day is spent on the phone, a majority of the day, calling distributors to get pricing for materials, as well as, hey, can you deliver stain and finish to this project? So there's a lot of moving parts to kind of make things flow. And it takes a lot. And there's a saying in the industry that you're either on the phone or you're on the floor. So sometimes you'd rather be on the floor, but it's a lot of fun. And it's definitely a faster paced industry because so much of it, if you don't prepare properly, you can lose a lot of time quickly. And sometimes that can be kind of, frightening to people, but it's definitely enjoyable because it keeps you busy all day. It's not like you're sitting and you're just like twiddling your thumbs. You're just so busy. The day just goes so fast, and you feel accomplished at the end of the day. That's for sure, because you can get a lot done while you're on the go.
Thank you so much. Now, what was your first few years in this career like? Is it different from what you do now, or is it pretty much the same?
Totally different. So technology is a beautiful thing. A lot of people say, oh, it's the downfall of, the future. But the thing is that wood flooring historically is passed down from generation to generation in families. It's not necessarily something where they've always had like, hey, this trade school is doing wood floor only classes, because it's its own science within itself. And that was kind of the difficult part for me, is that it's a family business that I've been around my whole life. However, I was always like, no, thanks, never. Once technology started reaching to the trades, these guys used to carry their tools in like little wooden boxes and catch a trolley to work, and now they have their own vans and, everything has wheels and vacuum. It's amazing to see technology hit the trades that way, because now the guys are using automatic nailers and all of these things that support the longevity of the craftsman as well. And you don't see that because it's, it's just starting to trickle into the trades. And the thing is it's like learning from those guys. You had to ride around in a truck and just basically follow somebody and kind of understand, like ask them, why would we do that? And why would we do that? And now, because technology is so amazing, we have the opportunity to do online learning where they can make videos, show us, give us, downloadable programs that we can print out to reference. And it feels like the whole industry like fast forwarded on the last 10 years. Back in 2012, when I first got back into it, I was like, no way,
Yeah.
Really made it that much more enjoyable, because you just get so much more freedom that we didn't have before. So that's one of the great things about that.
Thank you so much. I loved your answer. And I love how you also explained the evolution of technology and how that impacted, your career, because that's very important, because technology will be with us forever. So
everything's going to look like a beeper in 5 years. So
yes. I'm excited, but also a little bit, nervous to see how, technology will impact the future. My next question for you is, what high school courses or college courses have you found to be the most applicable for your occupation? Or what courses do you wish you should have taken?
Okay, so it's kind of surprising, because I used to not be that great at math. And I was like just the basics, basic math, basic algebra. And that's pretty much the majority of what you need to know for our industry. Now we have different scenarios and patterns in the floor. So you need to know formulas. But when I was in high school, they were still preaching the old, you'll never have a calculator in your pocket, Jokes on you, because I do.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun, because back then, and I don't blame them for being a little bit grouchy about that, but it's like technology, so it's much easier to work on the go versus having to be stationary in an office because of that. The classes I took in high school, most people call them wood shop, but at my high school they called it Imagination Factory, and they just got to understand all the tools, just so you knew, like, hey, whatever you could think of, you can build, and that was pretty critical in me kind of understanding a lot of concepts when it comes to construction. So that was helpful. The classes that I think I wish I would have taken, and once again, technology, we just didn't have the same opportunity, was there's a lot of CAD programs where they do the drawings online. You can do all of that architectural stuff right at the tip of your hands on an iPad. And I think the class that we had was like mechanical drawing, where you had to use like a ruler, and that's all you had. And you had to do the whole drawing just by pencil. And I know that that's still an art form, but it's not very useful.
Right. Yes, I'm sure that took a lot of time to do.
Yeah, a lot of energy, and you're just, I can understand it. And it makes it a lot easier to work within the programs now. But back then we just did not have the same opportunity, because technology was just not there yet. So definitely, as long as you kind of get the basic mathematics, and then you kind of, it's a lot of your imagination involved as well. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, those are definitely the top ones. But yeah, the CAD is where it's at for sure.
Thank you so much. My next question is, what part-time jobs, apprenticeships, or internships and extracurricular activities would best prepare you for this occupation?
So it's one of those interesting things that, anybody can really get involved in this industry. And I think that the important part that people recognize is that as long as you have like a heart of service, and you understand that people are contacting you because they have a vision for their own home, their sanctuary, and people don't take that lightly. So as long as you take that on a serious note, and you can be real, like human to human with them about it, there's a lot of flexibility within that, that momentum. I think that that's really, and to say a heart of service, there's so many jobs that could start with, and it's kind of, how do I say it? It's like there's just so many different opportunities. This is what I try to mean. It's like some people call you and they say, I've always dreamed of doing this floor for my parents' home, and I have the money and I want to do it. So, you're like, let's do exactly what you're thinking. And then there's other people where they have like storm damage or a tornado. Like I have somebody that I just met with this week that a tornado hit their house. So, there's a long process that goes in with that. And there's just so many opportunities because of what we do. And it's kind of interesting because I know kids that are in college right now to go to get a degree in architecture. And on the summers, they come into town because this is where they're from, and they'll just help out doing like labor and demos. And they're like, I could, potentially earn more here just doing this than I would my first year out. And that's not to discount the architectural community, just that when you have to start where you have to start there, there's just a lot going on, and you'd have to, follow that kind of learning path as well. So it's kind of tough, there's for people who are really good at accounting and stuff like that. That's the other thing, is that there's so many opportunities. It's not just somebody that's going to be installing or sanding the wood floors. We have, scientists because of the polymers. We have, people that just love doing Excel sheets for some reason, but bless them, because hey, it's to help the machine, keep going, a well-oiled machine. It's amazing how much it lifts everybody up. So it just depends on what somebody's interest is, but there's literally an opportunity for everybody in this industry.
Wow, I love that. What are the benefits of being a member of the NWFA?
So the really cool thing with the NWFA is, like I said, when I first started, the NWFA pretty much did regional training programs, and they would invite everybody to come in. And typically back then, they would have everybody fly in from out of the country, or not from all over the country. The tough thing about that is that it takes time for you. You usually have to take like a week off in order to travel there. And sometimes it's not easy to do that because, your work is based on what you put out. So sometimes that was a little bit challenging. The NWFA definitely changed their course a little bit, and they created the NWFA University, which gave us the opportunity to learn from home. And then once you had the opportunity to learn from home, you could also take those skills to now those regional training programs. They do multiple trainings per year in different locations that are closer to people. So instead of taking a week off, you only have to take 2 days off. And then you're working with the trainer to hone in on those skills. And you're just taking so much more from it because it's not all jammed into a 4-day session where you're like 2 days after, you're like, I wish I would have asked that. I wish I was
right.
They really engaged with the younger generations, which was important because, there's a big deficit of people who are retiring from our industry, and then the people who are coming in. And that's just all across the board when it comes to the trades. So they really, really did an incredible job when it comes to the education programs. And when you do those programs, I think one of the best parts about the NWFA is that you realize that you're not the only one out there hitting those struggles. Like I worked in a restaurant growing up, and sometimes the best time of the night was when you were rolling silverware at the end of the night and talking with your coworkers, and sometimes when you're by yourself, you don't always have that opportunity to talk with, people who are doing exactly what you're doing. So when you get there and you're talking with everybody, you feel part of a family, and it really, really engaging, and it builds you up. It makes you feel very empowered. So it's definitely a cool organization to be part of.
That sounds amazing. Can you tell me a little bit more about the networking or educational opportunities offered by the NWFA? I know you touched on it briefly in my previous question, but I would just love if you expound a little bit more about the different opportunities someone can gain from being a part of the NWFA.
Definitely. So the cool thing is like I said, with these regional training programs that they have, my first one that I went to, I knew nobody, and I just so quiet, and everybody was like, you want to try this machine? And, as soon as I went in and was like, they were like, whoa, whoa. They saw that, they were like, okay, like she knows what she's doing. Then, because of, like I said, the deficit, a lot of these companies, so within the NWFA, there's a lot of organizations that are also part of it, like the manufacturers of the products that we use. And those manufacturers recognized early on that there's a problem because we don't have a lot of the younger generations involved yet. And the thing is that like NWFA will do training programs, but also they have something called Partners in Education. And it's basically a team of all of those manufacturers. I've been invited to some of the coolest programs to see this stuff in action. For example, like I got invited to go to Canada to go see the machine that will actually take a tree trunk and turn it into wood flooring within like seconds. And you're just like, wow. And that was really cool. And then in the same swing, you just start meeting more people, and then they realize, hey, like you're passionate about this. And, they're like, you should try, signing up for this. And then that same year, I got invited to go to Germany to go, to go walk the plant of the family who invented the belt sander, which we use to sand floors. So that's what I mean when I say that historically, it's always been a family handed down trade. And so you feel like you're part of this big family, and everybody's like, hey, check this out. You should come see this, and everybody excited. And it's a lot of fun because, you feel like nerds, but then you're like, this is cool. Like, so it's a lot of fun. And I know that not those opportunities aren't always available, when you're in other trades, for example, like HVAC and stuff like that, plumbing. They're not like, hey, come meet where the first pipe
unplug this sink for us or something like that. Wow, I love that so much. And I love how you all are like a huge family, and that's just very, very important. Thank you so much. Now, what did you find the most surprising about this career?
To be honest with you, like I knew that it was going to be a male dominated industry. Always known that. I just always knew the girls were always in the office and that the guys were I can't sit still at a desk personally. So I'm very on the go kind of girl. And when I went out into the field, I had this hesitation, like, are they going to respect me? Are they going to take me seriously? Or, are they going to be fair to me? And surprisingly, the men in our industry are just, they get so excited when they see, like, they're like, oh yeah, because like, your stuff. They're like, right, all right, I like that. I was so surprised at how welcoming this industry was to females who are trying to step out and kind of, create new grounds for other opportunities for others to elevate themselves. And, if you see somebody else doing it, you're like, hey, I can do that as well. So, it's definitely one of those things that was intimidating at first, but once you got over that your own anxiety of it, it was definitely, it feels like I have like 1,000 brothers, to be honest with you.
Good, that's amazing. And I'm glad they respect you because you're deserving of their respect. So that's a great thing. You're so welcome. My last question for you today is there anything else you would like to add or think that will help someone considering this occupation?
Yeah. So the thing is that, how do I say this? Okay. I believe that all of us have like something special that we're good at, and it doesn't have to be that you're good at, sanding wood floors or installing them or selling wood floors or talking to people. It's, we all have these special talents, and it's very intimidating when you think that, how do I say this? It's like everybody has talent, but not everybody has the same opportunity. And I feel like the NWFA has offered so many more opportunities than I could have ever imagined. And I know that those opportunities would be absolutely handed out to anybody interested, because it's one of those things where if you show, it's not, I have to do this, it's, I get to do this, you get to do really cool projects, historical projects, and you kind of nerd out because you're like, oh, like I'm helping out with this project, super cool.
Right.
It makes you excited because, when you tell people what you do, they're like, show me, let me see what you do. That's one of the things, is that it makes you feel good at the end of the day because you're making a difference in people's homes, whether it's their house was torn by a flood or mold or a tornado, or it's their dream home and they want these floors from this barn that they took down in Pennsylvania. There's just an endless amount of creativity that comes into this industry that really you don't see in other industries, where that creativity, but also that kind of efficiency is just, it goes hand in hand. It plays well. And it's very inviting to the younger generation because we like to do things the easy way, the more efficient way, not necessarily, the hard way, which was the old way. So it's a big window for the younger generation to come into. And I'm just so excited because it's night and day from what it was back when I first got into it. So if it's something that interests you, it doesn't even have to be that you'd be out doing the floors. Like I said, if you want to help out and you're in the office and you're great at support and customer experiences, stuff like that, even marketing is huge for our industry. It's just one of those things. Like I said, there's so many opportunities for everybody's talent that it's just one of those things, the gift that keeps on giving. So it's really, really incredible how they've changed that over the years.
Thank you so much for that. You make me want to join the NWFA. Because I could just see your passion and your excitement. And that's amazing too, because I can tell you truly, truly love what you do. And not a lot of people can say that. And so I just thank you so much for your advice. It's much appreciated.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, yeah. Thank you again, Veronica, for agreeing to meet with me today. And thank you all for joining us. And if you want to learn more about the NWFA, visit the NWFAQ career page to find out more. Until next time, have a great week. Thank you, Veronica.
Thank you, Simone.
Thank you.